Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Duskmourn Chronicles. Well, who knows what's going to happen this week? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what happened last week? Well, that's a natural 20, and that's Grace.
Oh, me?
Oh,
What did I write? Who knows? Well, basically, we think we successfully managed to fake Avaradis's death. And then we got loads of loot, like loads of loot. We've got 23 magical items that we still don't really know everything we've got. And Guy's going to send us a lovely long list, and that's going to be great. One of those things was a really cool cursed coin. I've got a really cool dagger and a trident. And we carried what we could, and with some very clever avoidance tactics from Gottfried, we were able to completely avoid having to fight the really powerful Lich. So that was great. We dimension doored to a little storeroom above. Excellent times when a stone appeared in front of Avaradis, and it was the Highmark who had to report that there was some fighting going on within the allies between the Graith and the Sagetti, who were fighting over the
Shadowfell.
Shadowfell. So they've called us in to come and mediate with our passion and our non-logic, which the elves obviously don't have. So we're here to do that, and we've been locked in a room for 60 days apparently.
that's right. Or until a treaty is signed, of course.
Let's do it. Yeah, we don't want 60 days. Sort it out.
You forgot
yeah.
one major bit, Grace, because we're there fighting for our logic, with our passion, and with your plus 11 persuasion. Let's just be very clear about that.
Yes.
Darren's taking a sit down.
Huzzah for
That's
leveling
right.
up.
That's right.
Yes.
Level up. Whoop, whoop. Okay.
Whoop.
So you find yourselves staring into the faces of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individuals. There is definitely a Barbari present because she stands a good 7 foot tall, beautiful blonde hair and muscles upon muscles. She currently appears to be shouting at a rather red-faced gnome. And the bagpipes are sort of separate from the gnome, but it appears as if he has stepped on his own bag, and that has caused a bit of a kerfuffle. There is a goblin currently standing on the oval white table in the middle of the room, and she appears to be pointing at something on a piece of paper that has made a drow very nervous. And then screaming and shouting at each other is a Graith and a Sagetti elf. And they've stopped very briefly as you've stepped in. The moment the doors close behind you, they all turn at you and scream and shout at you four. You suspect that some of them might be shouting in anger, some of them might be shouting in anger at each other. The Barbari is basically waving her hands around, demanding that you do something about this. The gnome is still going as he's playing music or trying to do something about it. And yes, so what are you doing?
I think Gemini is going to take in all this noise, and she is going to want to try and calm the situation down. The best way she knows is by drawing attention to herself. And so she's going to take out a little musical instrument inspired by the bagpipes, and is going to attempt to, she doesn't know if she can cast magic here, but she's going to attempt to use Mantle of Majesty and take on an unearthly appearance for 1 minute. And that's until her concentration ends. So if this starts to work, she starts to play the flute and she starts to try and engage with this. Does this happen?
The spell fails.
She was just about to be so fabulous, and she instead just a little squeak comes out of the flute because she's just a bit thrown off by how fabulous she was supposed to be. But she instead decides to pull herself up, and she is going to project in her biggest, most booming of voices and call for silence and hope that purely her presence can bring silence to the room.
So, right. As you are trying this, you are immediately assaulted by several individuals also complaining that magic does not work here. The gnome appears to be attempting to demonstrate this by playing the bagpipes awfully loudly, which makes the barbari bellow even louder. And so you find yourselves in an absolute mess of emotions and anger.
Can I roll a vibe check on the room, please, Guy? And an insight check. What I'm trying to find out is which of these little groups of arguers, be it the barbarian and the gnome, or the goblin and the drow, or the Graith and the Sagetti, which looks like it is most likely to boil over into violence shortly. Because I think that's what we would ideally like to address and tackle first.
Fight. Yes.
Well, go ahead and give me your insight check. Let's see what comes up there.
Oh my god, natural 1, but I've got passive 19.
All 3 groups seem to be at a point where if something isn't done dramatically, they are probably going to come to blows. They are all deeply passionate about something that has aggrieved them on a spectacular level.
I think the tactic here is to divide and conquer. I think maybe we each need to go to a group and try and calm them down and listen to them a little bit. Or we can just try and invite them one at a time to air their grievances.
Yeah, maybe one at a time. Gemini is reaching into her bag to get out the dographone and hope that it works again. And she is going to once again call for silence, and that we will have each of us, one by one, will be able to speak. We will listen to your grievances, and we will try to be as impartial as possible. There is no use in shouting over each other, for we will get nowhere, and I'm sure we're all far too busy and important to waste our time in that way.
What is more, we will pick the order in which you speak, so as no one decides they are above the rest.
As beautiful as your speeches are, I would still ask you to give me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage?
Yes, because
This is mean.
you get a whole bunch of people briefly looking at you going, "Don't you tell us what to do."
Yeah, fair enough. They don't know me from Adam. I mean, it's a 12, but I did roll a natural 1, so...
Oh, dear. Yep, no response, I'm afraid. Even Everardus, your helping didn't really help.
So, guys, what are we trying to do? Are we trying to, like, just shut them up and get their attention? I mean, or is that what we're trying to do? Just, like, make a big signal so they are shocked a little bit and they're quiet?
Don't they need to mediate in some way?
Well, there's two things that come to mind. First of all, the elves wanted us to use passion rather than reason. They thought, they have reason covered, and that was right. The other thing is that Reft wants us to create spectacular passion. This is an ideal opportunity. Now, I'm not good at any of this, so I'm going to sit in the corner and read the Buscularium. But that would just be my advice. I don't do passion. I'm too old, so I'll see you later.
Godfrey shouts at the 3 of you over the crowd who are shouting around him.
Yeah.
So what are the 3 of you going to do?
The passion I know is music. I can try and give the performance of a lifetime and see if that will bring some silence to the room.
So to help you with that moment,
I would love that.
Gemini...
Backing dancers?
Yeah, but what I want to do is try and set the mood a little bit. Because right now, everyone is just up in each other's faces, and they're in this kind of plain, boring, Quethlan, bone-white room, no ornamentation, nothing. So what Doran is going to try and do is, and I'm not sure if it's going to work because with this whole magic thing, but I want to do my Twilight Sanctuary, which is not a spell, Guy. It's a feature. Would that work?
Look at that eyebrow.
I can't see the eyebrow.
It's a passive feature, so you know.
It's a passive feature.
Passive feature, 5th edition.
Some
man.
more passive bullshit.
Yeah, no, you don't have to roll or anything.
I mean, and you know what I would add to that is that I've for the first time I have this new ancient symbol, right? And I can feel it vibrating in my hands, you know, and I'm thinking of Reft and vibrating things. No, anyway, it's vibrating in my hands with power, right? And I feel
Flashlight.
I feel this thing vibrating gently, and I would like to try and like with that kind of like permission cast Twilight Sanctuary and kind of raise up into the air a little bit in my eyes of night to try and set the mood a little bit in the room so it darkens and people are thrust into twilight. That's what I'd like to do to kind of set the scene.
Avaradis, what are you trying to do?
Well, I was thinking if all this fails, I'm going to lean into the aggression and really stir up some passion.
Fight, fight, fight,
By
fight.
doing what exactly?
I'm going to get up in people's faces and start shouting and just pick one of the two parties and just agree with them and just start really reeling people into it.
All right. So, you are trying to give us a performance of your lifetime.
Yeah, and this
Gemini?
is so she's behind the dographone. She is
Yes.
reaching back to what she went through before she came here. And this is a mournful song. This is a cry. This is deep and soulful. And she is trying to appeal to the danger of the Shadow Realm through her song. And she is filling it with so much emotion and so much heart and pain. And she's hoping that through this, they might all remember once again the common enemy that they are trying to fight.
I love it. The dogaphone does not work. And so
bums.
I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, yeah, because it's going to be a strain on the old voice. It's like doing 12 pantos a week
There we
again.
go.
Oh no. Somebody have inspiration.
I don't
No.
think so. I think you've burned through all of those.
No.
No?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that's a 12, but you know what a 12 means? It means natural one.
There
Another
we go.
one.
There we go.
Oh, that's a mistake. If you get two in a row, it's a mistake. You got to roll again, right?
I'm not using that dice anymore. That's what's not happening.
Making up rules, man.
Listen, for someone who doesn't want to roll anything anyway, to now suddenly flip-flop and go, well, now you get to roll, you know.
Yeah, I've got +10 passive to hit.
Yeah, exactly. So you are holding your talisman and you are trying to cast the spell.
Not a spell. Is it a spell?
Does it
It's
take a magic action to cast it? Does it say it uses a magic action? Reaction? Bonus action?
Channel Divinity. As an action, you present your holy symbol and a sphere of twilight emanates from you.
Okay, darkness emanates from you. All right. So
Sphere of twilight.
what the general effect is you have this Gemini trying to lament as loudly as humanly possible, only to discover that the bagpipes are louder. And then the room goes very, very dark, very, very briefly. You get the sense, Doran, that your talisman it's weakening because your darkness doesn't hold for long. It starts to actually fade. And then, Avaradis, whose argument are you joining? Are you joining the Graith versus Sagetti, the Drow versus the Goblin, or the Gnome versus the Barbari?
I was
Aren't we
going to
still
work
wearing-
up to the Sagetti. I was going to start with the Barbari and the Gnome. That
The
seems like
Barbari and
most
the Gnome.
easy
And
fight that
whose
we-
side are you choosing?
The Barbari for sake of flattery.
Oh. All right. And so, for that brief moment, Doran, whilst you have got your holy symbol out and you can see that it's definitely struggling against some kind of dampening effect, the gnome, who is busy blasting on these bagpipes, now gets incredibly angry with you having joined the Barbari's side, And you notice that the bagpipes start to actually emit this green gas, but only for a few seconds before it also suddenly dampens down, and then your darkness spell completely ends. Your twilight space ends. And the gnome's gas disappears instantaneously. But everybody has now stopped and is looking directly at Doran.
I will add one thing, Guy, on the Twilight Sanctuary. When it's out, it can give temporary hit points, but it can also end an effect on someone, causing them to be frightened or charmed. And so in that moment,
Yes.
I'm going to choose to dampen the people's fears and to try and lower them down into a bit more of a calm environment.
Nice.
And from my little, in that moment, I floated up using my Step of the Night. So I'm kind of, on eye level with the Barbari, but I've become a little bit more, and I'm slowly floating down. I'm saying, friends, it does not need to be this way. Please. We all are angry. We all have grievances. And all of us want to pick a fight and beat the shit out of each other. I can understand that. But we need to work together. If you want to have a fight, let's do it in a proper moment. I'm going to try and explain that. If you want to fight, let's set it up and let's bet on it. And may the best man win. And then when you've got that kind of blood out of your system, let's talk like leaders that we are and think about the freedom and future of the world that we represent.
As
That's kind of
he
the
finishes
time.
that,
Yeah.
I'll go, yeah, and I let go of the collar of the gnome.
Meanwhile,
Wow.
Godfrey has put cloth in his ears, and this is true.
Oh, shut up. We've let you in the past really take the lead on difficult conversations. So I think it's only fair that you're chillaxing.
Godfrey doesn't give a shit about any of it.
Yes. So, with that, there is a moment of calm. And you can see that everyone is waiting for everyone else to speak first. And if anybody does speak first, then they're all going to start talking again at exactly the same time. So what are you doing?
Who wants to use the talking dog? If you're holding the talking dog, then you get to speak.
Yeah.
You once again are giving them the choice to act, and so 6.
And Doran is going to choose.
And I grab the dog from Gemini. Thank you, Gemini. Talk to me if we need to, yeah? Giving the universal signal. And I'm going to look around, and I'm going to look at the Sagetti representative.
Yes.
And I'll say, not 30 minutes ago, we rescued, we were in the heart of Memnehep, rescuing the tomb of your ancient pharaohs from defiling forces. We know the struggle that your land has currently. I would hear what your grievance is, and I give him the dog. Or her, it, them.
It is a her. She takes the dog, and you can see, Avaradus, that the Barbari and the gnome are not very happy that she got the dog first.
I will whisper to the barbarian, I would have picked you.
I
Always
like that.
Spanish.
Toss her a wink.
I like that. All right. And the Sagetti steps forward and she says, our grievance is very simple. The Wraith claim to have taken the Shadowfell. The Shadowfell invasion was part of our alliance. Therefore, it should be divided amongst all of us equally. The Wraith are refusing to allow us entry into the Shadowfell. This is unacceptable. If we are not given access to the territory that we are rightfully owed, we will simply take it.
So in my mind, if anyone's messaging me, my
No
feeling
one
here is,
can. There's no spells.
oh, there's no spells.
No spells.
I would look angrily at the Sagetti and say, how dare you? The fate of the world is at hand, and you're squabbling over spoils before the victory is assured. Can't you see that this infighting gives the shadow a chance to get back at the world?
The shadow
Let
is
us defeat-
destroyed.
Oh.
The Great claim to have taken the entire realm.
I take the dog from the Sagetti and I give it to the Graith, and I say, what say you, Graith? Ambassador.
Baron, as a matter of fact, but that is not the point. Firstly, I must lodge my objection to this talking dog. It is an insult to my people, and it will not be forgotten.
It's a fucking.
Whoopsie.
What is your complaint?
Says the Knoll, who's very dog-like.
Hmm.
It is very simple. Our forces were the ones that were fighting on the front lines for all 7 days of the war. It was our munitions, our technicians, and our war machines that invaded that realm. We have conquered it, and it is ours by right. At no point was there any discussions of sharing the dominion of the shadow.
Explain to me, Baron, what exactly have you taken?
Everything in the Shadow Realm, as far as intelligence reports indicate. Our generals are confident that the last remaining pockets will be eliminated within the next week.
I will
Yet
have,
they are not. Still. Baron. Go
I'm
on.
going to wait for an opportunity where the Baron is occupied in conversation and sort of saunter up behind them without them noticing.
They are not noticing.
And I'll go, and, especially loudly, just to make them jump and realize I was right behind them. I'll go, and, what is more, I am...
You do
in
not have the
agreement."
dog.
That is the established rule.
You like the dog,
I thought
Baron.
us as auditors, perhaps we bypass such rules, but
Oh, that gets grumbling from everybody. You get the dog.
Well, I take the dog. I say, perhaps the comment of the dog was correct. We are sorry for any insensitivity. We shall go on our sensitivity training. However, I am in agreement. If you are as mighty a force as you claim to be, then why should you feel the need to share your spoils of war? Though I am disappointed to hear that you have barred access to everyone else to share, to witness your glory. That, I fear, is inexcusable. We must be able to verify each among us and share intelligence between each other if we are to succeed in our final victory.
Gemini would like to take the dog. And
It
as
is
she
yours.
does, there is no conquering the Shadowfell. It can only be destroyed. There should be nothing to be shared, because we must eradicate it completely. Otherwise, there will always be a threat. And she's going to hand it back to the Graith so they have their opportunity to
A
speak.
little green hand leaps up and tries to grab the dog.
Fucking goblin.
It's the goblin.
You have something to say? Let it be fair.
Grabs the dog. Look, it's absolutely wonderful that you're trying to, resolve this whole Shadowfell thing. But I think what you should be looking at is closer to home. Because Shadowfell's a different plane, no one cares, it's so far away. Okay, we have been doing exactly what we've been mandated to do. And that is to create super weapons, which we have done. And now the damn Republic is threatening to come and invade our territory. Because we may or may not have launched some kind of aggressive attack against them. It was no such thing. It was an experimental weapon. It fired. It was successful. And that's the end of it. So before you carry on talking about your little shadow games, I want to know what you're going to do about the Republic. Because we're not going to stand by and let them threaten us. Thank you very much. She gives you the dog back.
Drow Republic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Republic, it seems you get your opportunity to rebut this.
The drow takes it very coldly. The Republic has been attacked. It was a direct assault against one of our larger cities. The goblins might dress it up as a weapons test. I dress it up that we lost over 500 citizens. And the number of slaves lost in the attack is incalculable, if irrelevant. We demand repatriation. There must be something paid for our losses.
Right. Who would like the talking dog next as we mull over this information? Ah, yes, the gnome.
The gnome takes it. Look, all of this is lovely. I'm in the same boat as the goblin. I mean, we are in the same boat as the goblin, right? Absolutely, totally, 100% innocent. That's all I have to say.
And over to the Barbari.
I would like to open this conversation first by saying thank you to all of you for coming in here and bringing calm to this conversation. And hopefully that you will make the right decisions as to what is going to happen moving forward. I think it's very clear that there is success in some of our operations that we have jointly launched on as this Alliance of the Light, or whatever it is we're calling ourselves. And I feel that we need to make sure that everyone is represented as best as possible. And I would also like to say that at no point did the Barbari ever give any land over to the gnomes for weapons testing. And that unless there is some significant withdrawal of gnomish troops from the Barbari territories, there is going to be some kind of very serious talking with weapons and fists, and the gnomes are going to learn where they can put their bagpipes, I'm afraid to say. It's not a very polite place, but it will go up there as far as my arm can reach. Thank you again. She steps back.
Thank you. Is there anyone we haven't given a chance to talk
everyone.
yet?
Might I say what lovely arms they are?
There's
We
a
thank
blushing.
you-
There's a blushing that happens.
We thank you all for getting this off your chest. We ask for a moment of recess so we can discuss your grievances, and we would ask that you take this time to be peaceful rather than argue. I know all of you are probably in need of a little rest and a bit of time to yourself.
And if you have any follow-up issues or grievances during recess, our colleague Gottfried in the corner is ready and willing to hear those for you.
No. I am taking very important
You
notes.
can't hear because you've got your cloth in your ears, mate. So get your face.
All right. So you have been presented with the problems at hand, and this is a skill challenge for you all to navigate through as you try to figure out
I had
what's
all
going
the
on.
arguments figured out.
Oh, you've got them
Can
all
I
figured
share?
out.
Going.
You
Yeah.
absolutely
We're
can.
about to go into recess.
Yes. What's your plan of
Well,
action?
I wanted, if I can, I mean, if we're going to do a skill check anyway, maybe if we have
Well, this
these arguments
might give you advantage.
advantage on something. Yeah. Okay. So I would probably start off by saying, something a little bit inflammatory. You're all, something aggressive, essentially. And I'll remind them that they are not focusing on the real problem. The enemy is at the gates, and they're too busy focusing on fighting with each other and not on the risk at hand, and that they need to respect each other. And if I go through the pairs of people, I would probably say to the Graith and the Sagetti. To the Graith, I would say you should be rewarded commensurate to the risk that you are taking. And I would say the Graith have taken great risk by invading the Shadowfell, and they deserve to be recognized for that and given the commensurate reward, whatever that is. So if it's going to be more than people who have not stepped up, they should get that. I think that's fair. For the Sagetti, I would probably say something like, it's time to step up, not step on people, because they're doing a lot of talking, but I don't see a lot of action. Then for the goblins, I would say that you should be happy that you have blueprints of the weapons that you can have for perpetuity, which you would never have been given permission or ability to build were it not for this alliance. And for the drow, I would say at the same time, they need to be compensated for the damage that's been done by the goblins for their irrational behavior. And similarly for the gnomes and barbari, that's a simple border truce. The gnomes need to retreat and the barbari need to accept that, but they seem the most reasonable of all the people. So those are the kind of logical arguments I would make. And again, like I'm trying to play into this ref thing of being a bit more passionate. So my idea would be to deliver that in a more impassioned tone than just kind of explaining the thinking.
Judge Doran.
Yeah, and to really enhance that passion, I would have slipped the Barbaria little note, to meet me out of hours if she wants to air her grievances with me in person.
And I'm going to be on the flute doing a bit of lift music just to kind of keep it just a bit more chill.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Avaradis, just remind me of what your charisma is again.
My charisma stat is 18.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Brilliant. I have heard your case for, against, and middling. And so on the surface of it, you will get advantage on 3 rolls of your choice. Yes, so that's where you find yourself. Now, your goal is to attain peace between these individuals and to get the outcomes that you are looking for. Or, in the case of Gottfried, is to gain more understanding in the Crepuscularium. This will require you to attain a score of 100. You are starting on a score of 0.
Oy, oy, oy.
Now, the DCs are slightly skewed because if you choose to tread carefully, the DC is lower, but your progress is only plus 15. If you care to go the line, you will increase by 20, but the DC is more difficult. Or you could drive a hard bargain, in which case you are gaining plus 25 points, but the DC is obviously higher. However, every time you fail, you slide further and further away from peace. To top it all off, you only have 60 days. If you think your campaign can delay for 60 days, then so be it. However, every 20 points is worth a day. So just bear that in mind. Yeah? Okay, so first up, I need a deception from someone. And as usual, skill challenge. Only one of you can roll, and you can't roll again until somebody else
Plus
has.
11?
Plus 7. That's one of my higher ones. I feel like you are going to be needed
For
for...
persuasion.
Yeah.
Fair.
Or I can guidance once around, right?
You can guidance once per session of 4, yes.
Yeah. So
Can
I'll
I
give,
bardically inspire?
Sorry, you can't do either of those.
No, because they're
magic doesn't work.
magic.
Yeah. No one's mind controlling or manipulating anybody in this room.
do you want to rethink the 100?
No.
Giving you a chance.
I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
It's important
Right, so
as a player to give the DM the chance.
What role am I making?
You have already managed to get us advantage on 3 of these rolls, so
shouldn't I?
Yeah.
you've done good. You've
You
done
become
good.
the king chancellor at the table, Brendan. I love it.
So, deception.
We're going for hard bargains, right? Because we're going for passion.
I mean, if you've only got a plus 7, I would say
Middle.
like middle, or I think that's a middle-ish bonus.
Look at that face.
I mean,
Really
but this
wants
is you, Scott. You do whatever the hell you
You
want.
do
All I
you.
say is, I am never going to Vegas with you, man.
As well, you shouldn't, because I'm notoriously bad, and this is why I don't gamble, because I can't help myself but go all in every time.
No shit.
So,
You have to
who is
announce
I
rolling
the
won't ever
deception?
gamble.
Yeah, Do you have to announce the advantage before you roll?
You do.
Or you could.
You
okay.
do. Yeah.
I would like the advantage, and I'm going for the hard bargain.
All right. One advantage gone of your 3.
Do
Hard
I
bargain.
have to pick who I'm targeting? Of the
No.
sort of
No.
primary
No.
districts?
No.
General.
No. It's just a general.
That's an 16 or a 15. 16.
That your final offer?
Fortunately so.
All right.
Hard bargain.
You try your hard bargain. Give me a second here. And unfortunately, you don't get anywhere. There's too much at stake, and what you discover is that whilst the Barbari might be acting as if they are innocent victims here, they actually took this territory from the gnomes about 100 years ago in a war, and the gnomes are now using it as a testing site for the weapons that they've been tasked with creating. So it becomes a bit more complicated than that. So your current score is -10. Next up, I will need an insight check from someone.
Okay, active. Yeah, I got +9.
So are you doing a hard, medium,
No, I
or
think we
light
need to
touch?
steady the ship a little bit. I'll go for a medium.
Okay.
Incoming 21.
21. That is a success. You are currently on 10 points, and 1 day has ticked by as the negotiations have ground and grumbled forwards slowly. With your insight check, what you discover is that the goblins who fired this mega weapon, it bored a hole 20 foot in diameter, almost 2 miles into the ground. Miraculously, it hit a drow city, which is highly unlikely if you are just randomly choosing a spot and aiming a 20-foot boring hole straight down. There may have been more to this than just we didn't know exactly where we were doing it, so we just chose there. Yes. Day 2. Now, unfortunately, this is just between Gemini and Gottfried. I need an investigation check, if you please.
How's your investigation?
+3.
Mine's high, but I don't care about this. I mean, Godfrey doesn't, so he wants to keep his role for the Buscalarium.
Well, this is all part and parcel of it.
It's all the same.
part and parcel.
Okay, I'll do it. So will I go for the hard? I've got +8. So will I go for the hard one and use advantage? Does that make sense?
Maybe
Or medium?
the medium.
Medium and no advantage.
Yeah.
Just thinking with advantage, I could gain quite a bit with the hard bargain. You know.
It's 25 points. Put you on 35.
Do you know what I mean?
Back to 0.
Or back to 0. So it's a significant gain or a small loss.
I'm going to go for it. Yeah.
With advantage. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hard bargain with advantage.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's 22.
That is a success.
Okay, nice.
35 points on the board. 35 points on the board. Day 2 ticks by. The Crepuscularium has revealed more information. And this information doesn't seem to make sense. You need to kill the gods in their original realms because the book seems to intimate that these gods were not always gods.
Most interesting.
That's what you get. That is what you get. Next up, and this is from Gemini and Gemini alone. Oh, you are lucky.
Oh.
I think. I don't know.
Oh.
I need you to give me an intimidation check.
Oh, yeah.
Middle of the road for me.
So are we
+6.
pushing it?
I'm gonna go middle.
Middling it.
Yeah, middle in it.
Okay.
Okay. 16.
Is that it?
That is it.
That unfortunately is a failure,
Bollocks.
Variation.
dropping you down to 25. Next up, from anybody, and once again, you can do your all your wonderful bits and bobs. I need a perception check, please.
Got +9.
Yep.
Go for it.
Yeah, middling. I'm not a
Middling?
risk taker. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, that's medicine. I rolled a medicine. 1 second.
Perception.
Oh, medicine was better.
Ah.
Just
Oh,
a
shit.
12. Just a 12.
A
unfortunately.
12.
Mm.
Tensions are rising in this chamber as you drop down to 15. Day 3 grinds to an unsatisfactory halt. The next day, with reluctance, everyone gathers, and now I will need intimidation from someone other than Doran.
It's not.
+7.
Oh, yeah. That's
You
the
do
one.
have one advantage in hand.
I'll go middle of the road.
Middle of the road?
Middle of the road is still pretty hard, isn't it?
It is.
19.
19 is a success. Back up to 35.
Whoop whoop.
That magic number. The 4th day grinds to a halt. Now, from whoever's left, I need a history check.
That's me, I think.
That feels like that's you.
Middling? Pushing it?
History's +8. We gained a lot from the... do we have any advantages left?
You have one advantage.
Well, I go for that big score again.
That'll put you on 60.
Go for it.
All right.
You were just complaining about Avaradus not going with.
Yeah, you've
with
taken two
gambling.
advantage.
What do you think? Ross? What do you think?
Unfortunately, I think I fucked it. That is only a 17.
With advantage?
I rolled a 5 and a 9. 17.
Gambling is not on our side today.
No, it's not.
Down to 25.
Oh no.
Sorry, folks.
These negotiations
It would've been a
are
60.
slow. Very,
Oi.
very slow. Next up, investigation again.
Investigation.
Back to the top already again?
There's me,
Oh, okay.
sadly. I'm going lowest of the
Lowest of the low?
options.
Okay.
Yeah. And investigation, you say? Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. That's a natural 20, so that makes it 23.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That bumps you up to 40. End of day 5. You might start to think that there's some hope at the end of this tunnel. Even if it is just death. So now we unlock everybody, I believe. And I need a persuasion check from someone.
Please.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pushing it.
Mm,
Yeah.
Do it. Do it.
it's not working out for us, gang.
Go on,
Just,
go on.
just
But this is the highest one, the +11, right? I mean, I don't think.
yeah.
Yeah,
Has anyone
this is
got.
time.
Unless
That's
it's
still a 12
Gottfried
if I
and
roll a
religion.
natural one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Well,
true.
Are you going to push it or not?
I'm going middle. I know it's a cop out, but
Probably was.
oh shit. That rolled onto the floor, so I can't see it. So we'll see. 18.
Is just a success on middling. 60. 60. Beautiful 60. It's the highest you've got. The Graith has agreed to allow representatives onto the shadow plane to start examining what they have taken. This is progress. This is progress.
I imagine by this time, the Graith Baron has probably adopted the dog as his little mascot. It's on the front of his desk and he's like patting it and he's called it Charlie and it's,
I actually
like
have
it.
access now.
It's not called Charlie, it's Carly.
Carly. Okay.
Carly, yes.
That is mine.
Oh, I'm so
okay.
sorry, Gemini. The next skill is a performance skill.
+0.
+1.
4.
Over to you, Scott.
You're up
I will
next.
go for the little one.
That's
Good
a very wise
idea.
choice.
Yeah. Yes.
Roll good.
I'm gonna
Roll a
risk
20.
it. Yeah, let's go for the little teeny tiny performance. Oh, fuck a duck.
Okay.
That was 10.
10. Why did you have to mention Carly? Because now the goblin wants to... well, the goblins are just refusing to do anything with the drow, based on the fact that the drow have no evidence whatsoever that the goblins were aiming for their city at all. So that is the end of the next day. Day 7 ticks by. Day 8, deception, please.
I mean, I've got +0.
Oh, dear.
+7?
Yeah, but we've both.
You both rolled, haven't you?
Rolled
Oh,
on this
sorry, I
round.
thought it was the
Yeah.
next day.
No,
as in-
no.
So you have
It's got to be me with my +1. I'll go for nadir, lowest.
Yeah.
5.
Oh, no.
Down to 40. Down to 40.
You got Gottfried up and he doesn't even know what's going on. Talk to that guy, right?
The last I need is an insight check. And I think,
Okay.
who's that? Doran, right?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I'm going to stabilize hopefully and go for the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here with a +9, so 26.
Oh, what a pity you didn't push it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that gets you back to 60.
Oh.
60's fine.
The drow
60,
pointed
65.
out that the goblins could not possibly have not known where they were because the goblins decided to launch their test site 200 miles from the nearest goblin city.
Mhm.
That's pretty precise positioning.
It's quite suspect.
Yes.
Sounds like we need a king to look after these guys.
Oh, could be. Okay, open up to everybody once again. 60 points on the board. Day
Ooh.
9. And we start off with a perception check.
+9.
Pushing or safe?
No. I'm middle of the ground. Middle.
I'm genuinely so
27.
stressed.
Should have
You
pushed
should've
it.
pushed-
You should have pushed it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
80 points.
Hindsight.
The end of day 9 rolls in with everybody looking very positive. Things are super
come on.
close. It's now just about wrapping up, tying up all the little loose ends.
Come on.
Exactly.
I need
Believing like a religious belief.
I need a persuasion check, please.
Shall I go for persuasion, everybody?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay. Let's try it.
Middling
Hey,
or
what
do you go?
pushing?
No, just middle. Just middle. We just need 20.
Yeah, middle. 12.
You didn't roll a 1 again, did you?
3.
Oh my God.
Down,
I've rolled so many ones tonight. I
You
can't
really
handle
have.
this.
Down to 70. There goes
Oh.
persuasion out the window.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
Next up, I need another history check. Godfried, you can't finish this if you go middling. You can almost finish this if you push it.
Okay, I'm pushing.
He took his bait.
Luck be a lady tonight. Okay. History +8. Come on, motherfucker. Oh shit, it's 13.
Well,
This is so stressful.
you wouldn't have got it even if you had gone for a low. So there you go.
Mm.
Oh, well, day 10
Back to
ends
60.
with everyone back down to 60. This requires an intimidation check to get the gnomes to stop threatening to use their super weapons on the Barbari and just erase the entire race from the planet.
You're running out of scenarios, guy.
Oh, I mean, that's escalating rapidly, yes. The gnomes are not happy. Who's left?
That's,
I think
Scott.
it's just Avaradus.
+7, but I don't want to.
You can't reach it with +7. You can't reach the push.
Oh, you can. You absolutely can.
Can he?
He's got a 70% chance.
I'm gonna go for the middle of the road, baby.
65% maybe. With +7.
Get it up to 80.
Oh,
and then
you
it just-
fucker!
Oh my god.
That's a 10.
You wouldn't have made it anyway. Back down to 50. Negotiations are breaking down. The gnomes and the drow are actually contemplating forming an alliance to annihilate the northern half of Braxia itself. That would eliminate the gnomes and the barbari. This is back up to everybody once again.
Oh, gosh.
This time, it's for, well, this is for anyone. An investigation check, please, because there's more at play here than seems to meet the eye.
I'm not going to use that dice. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to push it. That's more fucking like it. So 24.
Beautiful. That is a success. You are on 75 points.
Just one more push, and we're there, right?
One more push, and you're there. Your
Said Reft.
history... perhaps. Your reading up of this book, the Crepuscularium, Book 2, you are now convinced that the current gods were all just mortals.
Yeah.
And that they probably slew the gods before them. Who probably slew
Till
the gods before them.
Them.
Oh.
So on.
So maybe they
Indeed.
want to end all mortality so no one can ever take their place as a god.
Yeah, start World War III or whatever it is. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Now, with that insight, I need a religion check, please, from whomever has not rolled.
I think I'll take this.
Yeah, but I mean, actually, Gottfried has the highest one. You have what, +11 or something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
because
he's
of
already
some-
rolled.
So I have a +8, and I'm not going to push it because I'm just, Oh, 13
Nice.
FML.
Down to 65. Oh dear. The next day ticks on. Day 11 of negotiations. What
Come
is
on, lucky
happening
11.
in the outside world? Lucky number 11. I now need a performance check, please.
Okay. Check.
Pushing.
Yeah.
If you
Oh
push it,
yeah, go on.
You
I'm going
can't
to
get
push. I'm
another
gonna
natural
push.
one.
Can't get another natural one, can I?
I mean, it's impossible.
Whoop. Ooh, a 17 plus 11.
Nice.
38.
So that puts you on 90.
90. Whoa.
Your last check, you could just cruise in if you like.
Yeah.
Day 13.
Probably.
The last day, hopefully. Day
Please.
13. I need a deception check from whoever has not yet rolled.
That'll be me.
You're going to push it, Scott, yeah? You're going to push it?
No.
Nah.
Just-
If I did the teeny tiny, would that get us?
That would definitely get you over.
Do the teeny tiny.
if you please. A teeny tiny lie.
Lies.
Oh, a natural 20, bring us up to 27.
Oh, you have done it. You have done it. And
Oh.
so,
We birthed peace.
you birthed peace. You did indeed. Actually,
Being present at a birth.
that's not
That's not
entirely
useful.
true.
Oh no.
You see,
Millions dead.
Godfried, whilst he was reading the book, did come to a realization that one of you shouted out, the best way to prevent the Crepuscularium from being used is by having total war happening.
Oh yeah.
And one of the 6 of these individuals, you all suddenly realize is probably from the Shadowfell. But which one?
No, I see. I see.
Oh.
So now it's up to the four of you. You each get to choose a skill to try to identify which one of these is from the Shadowfell and is working purposefully to cause this conflict.
Well, I would choose my insight.
I got a plus
On-
11.
On
Really?
whom?
Oh, I thought it was just
It's an insight check. Oh, absolutely. But on whom?
on whom. Oh,
Oh, I see.
Hmm.
oh my gosh.
Feels like you
You
think,
sure?
okay, well, the Graith have been in there, so they could get turned, but then that just feels too obvious. But sometimes obvious could be right.
Hang on, are we talking about one of the races is from the Shadowfell or one of the gods?
One of these six
No,
people?
one of these 6 ambassadors.
Yeah. In the
Oh, I
room
see.
with us
It's a-
right now, someone from the Shadowfell
Yeah.
is in here.
I see, I see, I see.
So my thought process is that the Graith are acting exactly as the Graith would act. I mean,
Yeah.
they're in Shadowfell, but I think that's pretty normal. I think the Drow seem as haughty as ever, and all they're asking for is compensation. The goblins are just being goblins and experimenting and blowing things up, and
On a
that's
very specific area.
just a single area. However, and then the Barbari just seem to be having an old, like, long-term feud with their neighbors. The people who really are annoying me a little bit here is the Sagetti, who, we know there was things happening in Sagetti when we left, and we know that they have ambitions on land grabs and ambitions on. They've tried to take over the Dwarven lands. They want to take over Shadowfell. It just seems like they're stirring up shit a little bit, and it might just be the Sagetti way.
Our map that
Hmm.
shows agents of the Shadowfell said that
Yeah.
the setting was clear. There was one place that was clear. Or do we think that map?
Yeah, but we're not in Sagetti now. We're in Quethlin.
No, we remember the map we had that
Yeah,
the
the living map. Yeah,
and it showed us the Sagetti was clear of any Shadowfell influence.
of individuals, right? And that's
But for an ambassador to have been sent, unless the ambassador has been intercepted.
Well, look,
and
if you've got a
this is
plus
only
11
suggested
insight,
as
I mean,
+9 insight. I mean, I guess we're all going to get to do our chosen skill on the people.
yeah.
And I guess my hand is the Sagetti, so I'll do it on that. Okay, shall I roll?
Go ahead.
Incoming biggie. Come on. Oh, fuck's sake. 15.
Oh, warning, language in this episode.
Lots of
Bit
frustrated language.
Lots of frustrated language. Okay, so you've made your play with the ambassador. Anybody else want to do a check on anybody else, or are we just going to go straight for this jetty?
I shall use the power of seduction on the barbarian.
You think it's the Barbari? Okay.
Well, a sleight of hand, perhaps.
You're going to try and pick the Barbari's pockets to see what they've got on their pockets?
No, I think perhaps persuasion, get them to slip up in conversation.
All right.
Well,
Go ahead. Give me a persuasion check.
The private interview. Oh, 26.
Oh, beautiful.
ooh,
Beautiful. Very nice. Gemini.
Kind of like having, had a bit of a conflab with people and hearing Doran's thoughts and, this, obviously over these days, Gemini's got to know people, but she wasn't in that original conflab, so she's still been trying to work people out. The specificity of where the goblins decided to place their weapons has been interesting, Gemini. So she's going to try and have a conversation with them and try and kind of trick it out of them with deception.
Very nice. Go ahead. Give me a roll.
That is a 25.
25. Lovely. Gottfried.
I'm thinking either the Drow or the Wraith. I know the Wraith is kind of the obvious option, but maybe it's a kind of a double think, you know. And they were down there; they could have been corrupted. I don't know. Yeah, um, I think I'll go with the Wraith. And what I'll do is, my telepathy is not a magical ability. I can't use it to read minds, but I want to marry it with my magical insight, to try and plumb the depths of this Wraith's mind. So I'm going to roll Arcana.
Your telepathy is not magical.
Apparently not. Because it's a feat, not a spell or it's not even a wizard thing.
Okay, go ahead. Give me an Arcana
There's
check.
literally psionics in the old. Okay,
Yeah.
so here we go. Okay, that's 18 plus 11. It's 29.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good rolls.
Oh,
Where were they?
Where were they for the last
30 minutes.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. You have thoroughly looked into Baron Reich, and you are convinced it is not him.
Okay.
Understanding the expansionist approach of Taslantahep, the ambassador from Sajeti, she does appear to be acting in the interests of her government. The goblins really did just cock up. They went 200 miles outside of their own city because they were worried that their experimental weapon might actually blow a hole about 50 miles wide. They consider the weapons test actually a bit of a failure because it didn't destroy more territory. They didn't expect it to go down. They were actually aiming up at the time.
Oh God, they really messed up.
Yes, sadly. And then finally, the Barbari genuinely feel as if they are being aggressed upon by the gnomes because the gnomes are using a poison cloud that are killing all of the wildlife and so on. The gnomes, on the other hand, do have a genuine and absolutely rightful claim to the territory, which was taken from them by Barbari raids. The drow, seeking compensation, are, as far as you can tell, absolutely innocent. That means there must be one other species involved here. They're just not in the room.
The elves themselves.
The elves, and they've been keeping us locked up.
And we'll be back next week. Thank
Son
you
of
for
a
watching.
bitch!
Look at the dibbly-doo down below and go wash your mouths out with soap.
I'm going to scream.
You're going to
How can you sleep at night?
Very well.
The sleep of the damned.
The sleep of the damned. Anyway,
The
folks.
profanity warnings already happened, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. After it all happened. All right. Steady on. Lovely. Okay, dokes, folks. We will see you next week when we continue with more insanity. Until then.
Thanks, everyone. That was great.
That was nice.
Bye.